I am the prophet, and truth is above all else. Free speech has been a really contested topic of late. You can see this with Jordan Peterson and the recent controversy. He basically went to some college and the students there didn't, at least some of the students, didn't want him there. So they protested. Now, this raises a very interesting question. What is the point of freedom of speech? Should those people be able to shut down Peterson or really anyone from talking? I think many people have this idealistic view of the world, that if only the right people were in power, then everything would be fine. In the case of these social justice warriors or communists or whatever they are, they think that to solve the world's problem, it is a simple thing. It is very simple. Remove the people in power and then put the right people instead of them, and that's it. Now this raises a lot of questions because the world is a lot more complicated. Americans a few hundred years ago and many others great philosophers and statesmen realized that freedom of speech is important for a very simple thing. You do not know what will happen tomorrow. You do not know what kind of people will get into power. So if you let people talk, then those people could be debated and opinions could change. And sure, some opinions would be bad, but some opinions would be good. You can look at women's rights, gays' rights, minority rights, all of these things. Talking about these things was not a good idea, was not a good career choice 50 years ago, 60 years ago. However, by the protection granted by the Constitution, the people then were able to talk about it. They were able to change the minds of others. So then you can get from something like 95% of people being against gays 50 years ago in America to now that a majority approve and or at least tolerate gay people. That this couldn't have happened without the First Amendment. So to really distill the argument, it goes like this. You let your opponent talk. You let him say what he believes and why he believes. Because then maybe your opponent gets into power. And when your opponent has that power, he won't be able to shut you down so easily. Imagine the other side of the coin. Let's say you shut down your opponent. The recent presidential election is a very good example. People wanted to shut down Trump and Trump supporters. And now that Trump is in power, it is much easier for him, if he wanted to shut down others who he disagree with, because the precedent was set. So, no matter how sure you are that you are on the right side of history, something like Trump may come along and put you in the losing side, in those who are weaker. And then, using the same power that you granted him, that person or those people could shut you down in turn. So you could view free speech in an idealistic manner, but I think the much more smarter thing is to view it in a pragmatic manner. You let other people talk, even if you think they are idiots and devils and whatever and racist. You let them talk. Because if they get into power, and this has happened with Trump, if they get into power, then it will be much harder for them to silence you. So you might lose a few battles here, but you may win the war 5, 10, 20 years from now. But if you shut down freedom of speech, then you drastically reduce your chances of winning. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a tough video to make because it is such a complicated issue, and yet in some ways it is simple at the same time. Of course, I could have talked about many other things. Somehow, after so many years of oppression by governments and corporations, somehow people do not realize how important free speech really is. I hope maybe this video changed a few minds. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you liked this video, and well, have a nice day, and may you say whatever you want.